Assalamualaikum warahmatullah. In the name of Allah, the most gracious, the most merciful, all praise be to Allah. We praise Him, we ask for His help, we ask for forgiveness. We seek refuge with Allah from the wickedness of ourselves and from the badness of our deeds. Whoever been given by Allah guidance, then nobody can be misguided for him. Whoever been misguided by Allah, then nobody can be a guide for him. I bear witness to no God, worthy to worship except Allah, only Him, no associate for Him. And I bear witness to Muhammad, His messenger and His servant. O Allah, give good praise upon Muhammad and the family of Muhammad, and He gave good praise upon Abraham and the family of Abraham. O Allah, bless upon Muhammad and the family of Muhammad, and bless upon Abraham and the family of Abraham. Very most worthy of praises, exalted in glory. Today, inshallah, I'll be substituting for our Sheikh for his traveling right now, doing Umrah. May Allah Ta'ala accept from us and from him every good deeds that we did, inshallah. Last topic in the book of Don't Be Sad, it was about this life does not deserve our grief. Ponder upon points. That's the last thing we mentioned there. Today, inshallah, we'll go into as long as you have faith in Allah, don't be sad. As long as you have faith in Allah, don't be sad. Faith in Allah, the Almighty, leads to happiness and peace, while disbelief leads to confusion and misery. It is because the assurance, when we think about it, we did say about this, that all the philosopher, thinking people that try to understand what is this life, what are we living for, they always ask about three questions. The question is about where do we come from, why are we here, and where will we go after death. Because we can realize it in our sound mind that you are not here before this and you will not be here after this. So there must be a purpose. Why do you come to this world? You cannot say that I just come and go. Because that type of thinking, like being said there, will lead to confusion and misery. Because such people, when they thought that nothing, there's no purpose for you in this living, essentially will make you go into immoral things. You want to respect the elders. You want to do good to others. If you think about it, in the end, people will forget you. Like we mentioned before, if you want these worldly rewards, people will forget you. So, living your life, is it worth it to living your life, not doing things for something that you don't know? You don't know what happened for you. So uncertainty about these things will let people, like when you say about the fascism that happened to human before fascism, the socialism, the ideas of no God, you are not being created. It's actually making people become more, inhuman. They can do everything to other human and they don't care about it. They conquer the world, conquer the other region, killing people without any remorse in their self. Why? Because they think that this life, you live all of it. Everything is here. So you think about nothing. You not be the consequences of your doing. You're not facing it after this. So why should you care? So some people, they have that type of mind, not believing in God that created him for a purpose. Must be. Everything in this world is purpose. I remember my sheikh in Yemen, he mentioned about his dialogue with a professor, royal members of medicine in UK. When the dialogue happened, this Sheikh is actually want to say, because many of people who doesn't want to think about God, they don't think about the purpose of life. Because they say that if you have a purpose, you must find your creator. Like if I bought a phone, this phone, newly bought. So I see there's more buttons there. This power button, they have the volume button, and many other buttons. You don't know what is the purpose of that button. Who do you ask? Ustaz? No. The minister, the police? No. You ask the creator, the one who create the phone, the manufacturer. They give you the manual guide. From there, you can see all the buttons have its own purpose. So if you look into it, you cannot find your purpose just by thinking by your own self. Like in a human, so our Sheikh actually said to me, it said to us in the class, he said that I said to that professor, he said, do you have a purpose? He said, no. We just come to live our life and die. Nothing more than that. So this Sheikh want to make the professor think about something. He said, your hand, your fingernails, your nail, everything in your body, your joints, everything on your body, your eyes, your ear. Does it come for a purpose? Your eyes, hearing. So the professor suddenly become irritated. He said, what are you talking about? This is a science about the function of human body. Is a science, a knowledge. It's called physiology. The purpose of every part of the body is called physiology, as a knowledge. So when the Prophet said like that, our Shaykh said, then don't be angry. I just asked. Then answer me. Okay. So the second question is, does all this part of your body for its own or for the whole body? Like the eyes, you have the skeletal system, the muscle system, nerve system, auditory system. Everything in your body is system, respiratory system. It's combined together. So the Shaykh said, does everything for its own or for the whole body? So the professor become irritated again. He said, how can you ask me this question? Is it functional if you take the eye, put it on the table? It doesn't function except with the body. The skeletal system, the muscle system, the nerve system, everything with the body. It cannot be on its own. It doesn't make its purpose. So for the whole body. So the Shaykh said, Alhamdulillah, you answer me. The second question. Then the third question is, what is the purpose of the whole body? If you go function by function, he said, yes, for the whole body. So what is your purpose? What is your purpose? Because you're going to say that because everything is created by purpose. Even the fan, all of it, all the parts is there. If you single out, everything has purpose, but combined together is a fan. So you, as a human, what is your purpose? So the professor said, this is philosophy. This is not a knowledge. This is not a science. This is philosophy. So the Shaykh laughed. He said, then come, we change the topic. Your shoes that you are wearing, does it have a purpose? The professor said, yes, sure. For what? To protect my feet from anything, any pressing things, anything, any spill. So your shoes have a purpose. So the Shaykh asked again, so the one that wearing the shoes, have it any purpose? So the professor started. So the Shaykh said, I am so amazed. So, I cannot say anything about a civilization that you are from, that teaching your children the shoes that you are wearing have a purpose, but the person who wear the shoes doesn't have any purpose. Because this is the thing. When you have a purpose for something, your goal of life, your vision, what you are thinking to do, everything essentially will be in fact, you always in the right path. You always correct whatever you do wrong because you have a purpose. But when you don't have any purpose, so this actually will create confusion and misery. It's really about believing in Allah. You have faith in Allah, then you don't have to be sad because you know that Allah created you for a reason. You learn that reason, you know that purpose, then you'll be at ease. Anything befell upon you, you'll be at ease. That is the thing about religion. When you know about religion, then you should not be in confusion or misery. Because you always know that it's like assurance. You bought a car, the dealer of the car said, anything happen to your car, we will, insurance, we will pay you. We will give you substitute for it. Even if they said, if your car is done, we give you a new car. A new car. What will happen with you if you get that assurance from the manufacturer of the car giving you that assurance? Anything happen to your car, we give you a new one. When you drove your car, anywhere, anything happen, you are smiling. Anything happen, you smile because you get a new one. This assurance is about you yourself that Allah promised. Whatever happened to you in this world, if you have patience, you always seek to please Allah, then Allah will reward you back whenever happen. So it's become a faith about believing in Allah that will help you to go in this world in clear vision. You will not be in misery or confusion. He said here, I have read about many intelligent people of certain kind, some who might even be called geniuses. Geniuses thought, whose hearts are bereft of the light of guidance. They know about everything, but they don't have faith in Allah, the Creator. I always remind about this. The author of How to Influence People, he's very known. His book is being used by many people to learn about how to influence people, how to be happy. What is the author names, if you remember? The author of the books. Actually, okay, you don't remember. Huh? No, not this author. There's a person known, Dale Carnegie. Yeah, Dale Carnegie. It's very known to all people. I remember a few years ago when I was still in Yemen studying. We learned inside our class about this guy. He wrote books that so helping others. But he died suicide. He killed himself. He can tell people to be happy, but he cannot make his own self to be happy. That is the thing that some people doesn't really understand. Even I remind my friend, because he came back. He went to Yemen just 2 years. He came back to Malaysia. Mingling around with many people. Then some people said, Ustaz, this book is good. You should read it. A good book about influencing, making friends, how to be happy. So he mentioned the name. So I said to him, do you know that this guy killed himself? In the end, he cannot do something that he actually telling people to do. Because the way that he teaching people is actually maybe psychological way, but doesn't connect to the Creator, the God that created us. Because that is the differences. You can see that even this thing happened when you read inside the history of the Prophet and his companions. They all go into war, become soldiers in war, but none of them came back from the war, lost their mind. Like what happened today, when people go to war, coming back, they have something that is inside their mind. Because some of them become crazy, not thinking very well, and some of them take their guns and start to shoot people. So these things really never happened in Islam. You can read all the history of the companion of Prophet ﷺ. They went to war, but why didn't they have that problem inside their heart? It's because they know that they are doing something in the purpose of pleasing Allah. It's not because of their own, not because they want to do it because of their anger. Because the Prophet ﷺ did mention, being asked who is in the way of Allah. One is actually going to war because of his bravery. The other one because of his tribes. The other one because of revenge. So who is in the way of Allah? Then the Prophet said, whoever went to war for the sake of Allah, to please Allah, those are the one that in the way of Allah. Now things like this, I remember the saying of Umar Abdul Aziz. Somebody said something to him. He said, if I'm not angry at you, I punish you. He's a caliph. He doesn't punish because he's angry. If he's angry, he doesn't punish that person. He said that if I'm not angry, I punish you. But because I'm angry at you, I cannot punish you. Because he afraid that doing that thing for his own sake, not because of Allah. So these things, because of your purpose. Who do you want to please? Yourself, the human, or Allah? Or the one that created you? So this is the thing that they said, people, that some of them are genius in mind, in thinking, but they cannot relate themselves to the Creator that created them. Even some of the scholars or some of the scientists saying that there is the force that creating everything. They don't want to know who is the force, what is the force. They're saying that is something that naturally happened. So this is thing that you have to remind yourself about this. He said, and as such, they spoke wicked words about the Sharia, Islamic law. Now, this thing is about maybe a few days ago. Today, inshallah, we'll do some recording about this, answering about the things when you heard about the Sharia, Islamic law in few states being taken to the court. That saying is not according to the constitution. Actually, some people actually misunderstood about this. The Sharia court in our country, in all the states, is actually being tied with a phrase from the constitution that the Sharia court cannot prison a person who did something wrong more than 3 years, cannot more than 5,000 ringgit being fined, and cannot be lashed more than 6 lashes. Because the highest is 6 lashes according to the constitution. So when the Sharia enactment being proposed in all the states, few states, is being formed, they didn't follow the constitution, the rules of constitution, because in Islam, the punishment, like such as fornication, can be more than 6. It's 100. But the 100 is not the same as the way the civil court or civil prison punish their prisoners. You know, the one that they took long lashes, almost like this handspan lashes, and they will run, and you know the person will be tied, the buttock will be open, and they will lash the person. You know, some lashes, when they did, will make the skin torn off from the buttock. For sometimes 6 years, 1 lashes per year. Because if you did the 6 lashes, the person may, lost conscious. In Islam, the way for you to lash a person is just like this. Just like this. Just like this. You cannot lift up like that. And the thing that you have to use should not be something like hard. Must be something that flexible. Like in our place is rattan, or in Arabs they use the one of the leaf of the tamar, the dates, palm tree. One of its will be taken from its stem. So the lashes will be like this, and will not be open. The cloth will not be open, just like that. But we actually in Malaysia, because of the story of Semerah Padi, a movie, Sumpah Semerah Padi, black and white story, long before. The director is not a Muslim. It's actually a Hindu person. Then they did the movie, showing that the lashes will be like a broomstick, the broom stick, and the person will, lash the person is like that, 100 lashes. In the end, this thing make some people, have negative thought about the Sharia. Even though the Sharia law is actually to punish the criminal. It's not to punish the law-abiding citizen. It's about if you go against the law, then that punishment is there. So the Sharia court have never ever have the opportunity, even though it's written there, they cannot implement. So when those few lawyers, taken to challenge the Sharia law according to the institution, actually there's 2 things. Firstly, the limitation, cannot be more than 3 years of imprisonment, cannot be fined more than 5,000, cannot be lashed more than 6 lashes. This limitation. And the other thing is that if the punishment is already inside the civil law, then the Sharia court should not have any punishment the same. For the same crime, cannot be from both sides. So actually, what was being challenged by the lawyer is something that is already inside the civil law. And that is the beginning, about thing. Even though, when we talk about the Sharia law being implemented in Saudi Arabia, in few nations like Yemen, the country that doing it, their crime rate is so low. 1 year in Saudi Arabia, the crime in Saudi Arabia for 1 year is 1 hour in New York. 1 hour crime in New York, equivalent to 1 year in Saudi Arabia. It's something that is not being said. Some people say that it's so barbaric. You want from the punishment to have a community that is so peace. But you don't want to use the thing that Allah Ta'ala sent it to you by saying it's barbaric. I remember a journalist from UK. She went to Jeddah. Jeddah, she went to Saudi Arabia, going to the mall. Suddenly, people actually shut the door and everything because the time of prayer came. She was shocked. And they brought her to a place in Jeddah. Normally, when you go to Umrah, the bus before. This before, like I remember 2 times, 3 times before, that the bus will take you to a place, to a mosque, a place in Jeddah, where they will do the capital punishment there. When it happened, it will be happen there. So this journalist, she asked, she was talking about that place when she was brought there. She talked to the one that responsible, the from the authority there, a doctorate maybe in Sharia. So she said to to that person, that sheikh, we in Western country, we already left out, the capital punishment, something like this. We thought it's barbaric. So the doctor said, the sheikh answered back, there's two sides for everything. When you say that words, it's not because your family become the victim. If your family become the victims, what will you say? Your family be killed, raped, everything is there. Everything happened. Your mother being dragged, being on the road because the person want to snatch her handbag, and being happened to her, injured because of that. What will you think? So the journalist started, because you understand that when your family is there, because Islam want to stop, vigilantes, people who take revenge on their own sake, or by their own self. Because if you let people to do that, this thing will have problem in our society. Even maybe some people will open up, and you want to kill anybody, come, I pay me, I will kill them. You cannot, you must understand about that. Some people say that the death punishment must be left out, but you don't think about the victims, the victim family. What will they do if they saw the person on the road after few years being imprisoned, 6 years, such as 6 years being imprisoned, then the person is walking around the road and you are inside the car. The person maybe kill your family. What will you do? Can you think what will happen? Like few years ago, 2 years ago, there's a story about when we in Islam, we actually will punish whoever reach puberty and have sound mind. It's enough for you to punish that person. But in civil law, you must pass 18 or 21 years old. Then only you can punish that person. Lower than that, they will not punish. But I said, can you imagine, few years ago, a person, her daughter being raped by the son of the caretaker of the house. The son is actually teenagers and being released. They cannot file any punishment for that boy. But can you imagine the parent if they saw that boy on the road and they are driving? Can you imagine what will happen? So in Islam, to stop this avenging each other, people killing each other because of the revenge that they want, that is why the capital punishment is being done. With all the condition is there. And before you want to do the capital punishment, you will ask the family, do you want to forgive that person? Because the one that will think about revenge, only the family. They will ask, do you want to give forgiveness to that person? I remember in Yemen, it's before I came there in the 80s, in the early 90, one of my teacher from Syria, he migrated to Yemen. He mentioned to me when we came to class with him, he said about happened in front of his eyes. A guy kill another guy. So when they want to kill this guy because of the murder, so the judge before he want to punish, execute that person, he asked the family, do you want to forgive him? 3 times. At that times, a person intervened. He came to the family, forgive this guy, I pay you. For the start, this is my car, take it. 4-wheel drive like Toyota Land Cruiser is actually so luxurious in Yemen. So he said, take this. Whatever you want, I will pay you. The boy, the killer, said, don't listen to him. Don't listen to him. Just execute me. The family was startled. They don't want to do, if one of them, if you have 5 family members, one of them, want to forgive, the other 4 want to the blood, it will not be killing. They will not be executed. The person will be released. But payment, they must to pay equivalent to 100 camels. 100 camels for you to kill a person. That is the punishment, the payment you have to pay. So anyway, the guy, he said to the judge, don't ask anymore, just actually execute me. He make the salah 2 raka'ah, and then after that, he reject for the family to give forgiveness. If the family forgive him, he'll not be killed. So sometimes it's things like this in Sharia law. Something that is not being mentioned, how happened that the family forgive. One of our sheikh is known. You always use the Islam Q&A. Islam Q&A website. Sheikh Saleh Munajid. His son was killed by somebody. He forgive that person just like that. Forgive that person just like that. His son was be killed. So, things like this, because you seek the reward from Allah. You don't care about the punishment in this world, because sometimes you get the punishment in this world, but it's not really that enough, sufficient. Like I remember when somebody asked Dr. Zakir Naik, why should God punish us? He can forgive, and he then don't have any problem for that. Why shouldn't he just give us free pass for everybody? He doesn't have to punish us. So Dr. Zakir Naik answered by saying, if you have a university here that give anybody come to study, whether you fail or you pass, is the same. All of you will get the degree. Will you send your children there? He said, no. He said, why? Because actually that is not the way. Then the same you have to think about what Allah Ta'ala want you to think about your deeds. If you do good deeds, you get good reward. You do bad deeds, you get bad rewards. You don't do any deeds, how could you claim just free pass? Just like that. From the start, it's wrong for you to think about that. Because Allah is the most just. If you think that is not just, your son went to the university, he answered all the questions, passed. The other guy, his son, didn't answer a single thing inside the paper, still get 100. Do you agree with that? So no. So how can you agree for a person in this world being given time by Allah to change his attitude, to change his deeds, but he doesn't do anything? Suddenly you can say free pass for everybody. So the questioner smile. He understand. And secondly, if you think about the worldly punishment comparing to the last day punishment, the worldly punishment is actually not really that big. Even Allah Ta'ala said in the Quran, in Surah Al-Sajadah, when saying about the worldly punishment, Allah said, فَلَنُذِيقَنَّهُمْ مِنَ الْعَذَابِ الْأَدْنَى دُونَ الْعَذَابِ الْأَكْبَرِ لَعَلَّهُمْ يَرْجِعُونَ. We surely will make them taste the low punishment. دُونَ الْعَذَابِ الْأَدْنَى. The punishment is low. دُونَ الْعَذَابِ الْأَكْبَرِ, not the big punishment. Why? لَعَلَّهُمْ يَرْجِعُونَ. May they come back to Allah. Allah Ta'ala sometimes punish you in this world to make you return. It's not the whole process. If you can be punished in this world and your sin will be wiped off. That is the way you have to think. So to understand more, Dr. Zakir Naik he said, as example, Hitler, he killed, they said 6 million Jews during his reign. The Nazis army killed in Holocaust and all the mentioning, they said about 6 million Jews. If you take Hitler and you kill him inside the same poison chamber, gas chamber, you just kill him for one life, but he killed 6 million. You just get the punishment for a person, the justice for a person from 6 million. You still have 5,900,999 still waiting. Where is mine? Can you imagine? Person just get equivalent, his life equivalent for 6 million. Like Mao Zedong, during his reign, 60 million Chinese died. 60 million, not 6 million, not 6, 60 million. During the reign of Mao Zedong, during the reign of Joseph Stalin, 40 million of people in Soviet Russia died. In Ukraine, specifically, every year 3 million. Every year 3 million. Because they use the way to make people to be obedient by hunger. Make people hunger, then they follow you. Don't let them have foods. Then they will follow the government. They use that tactic. So if you get Joseph Stalin, he died for the 40 million. You just, take a justice for a person. But in the last day, there's no death. No death. You will punish and will rise again until you almost die. You rise again. Continuously, without stop, without any recess. No rest. No recess, no rest. Continuously, for eternity. Then when we look at that, then only you feel, Alhamdulillah, I get my justice. But today in this world, it's not like that. Because that's why believing in the last day, something that will, help you to become more obedient, more polite, to say anything, you think about it, because Allah will ask you for everything you say. Everything you see with your eyes, everything you hear with your ears, you hold with your hand, you step with your leg, will ask by Allah. When you think about that, because the reward is there, the punishment also is there. So when you think about that, you will surely, think carefully for what you want to say. You carefully think about it. Because you know that you are accountable for everything. Because of that, Allah Ta'ala give you the mind, not like the animals. You can think. Even some of the philosophers said that human is the thinking animal. We are animal, but thinking animal. Or speaking animal. In the philosophy, they said, Al-insanu hayawanun natiq. Al-insan, the human, hayawanun natiq. Talking animal. The other animal doesn't talk. They have the sound, but don't talk. But the real thing is about the mind. Why are you being responsible for everything? Because you have the mind to think first. So really careful what you want to say, when to answer. Sometimes in the social media, these days, the Facebook and everything, somebody quote your name. You start to want to answer. But think again, you delete. Think again. It doesn't give any benefit. It's just fighting with people inside the social media. The anger is there, but suppress it. Because Allah did say in the Quran, Surah Al-Imran, about those people that the paradise is being prepared for them. Allah said, 134, wal kazimin al-ghais. people who suppress their anger. They don't release everything, the anger that they have. That is the best, inshallah. Okay? So remember, so about the Sharia that we're talking about these days, is really about the technical. We actually not implementing the Sharia law. But at the same time, the states can make an enactment and being endorsed by the king of the states, like in Kelantan, in Terengganu, in Pahang. All the king have that things. And also inside our constitution is being said about the special right of the king, the Malay, and also Islam. These three things, if being carefully been understand by everybody, the court is actually to completing each other. One of the the Sharia courts judge, ex Sharia court judge from Perak, he wrote a long answer about that, and he said that actually the law is to complementing each other. Whatever not being implement in the Sharia is implement in the civil. They can do that, but now they are trying to fighting each other. It's wrong, because we actually have dual system. Our system is actually have the civil law and the Sharia law, but the Sharia law also being given by the constitution as the right of the king for every state. If the king said something about that, then the constitution already given them the three things about the right, the special right of the kings, the special right of the Malay, and the special right of Islam. These three things is being agreed upon during the foundation of Malaysia. So something that actually some people doesn't like. I don't know why. They don't like about this. Doesn't like Islam to give anything, to say something about the wrongness inside the society. Allahu a'lam. You don't know what inside their heart. Because some of them are intelligent. Like being said by our author. They are intelligent. They have the mind, the sound mind to become a lawyer. To become a lawyer, you have to memorize many act, many section in the law to become a lawyer. And if you're not practicing for a few years, you have to take the exam again. You lose your license, and you have to learn again. Same as in medicine. In medicine also, a doctor must practice. If doesn't practice, then he must take the examination again. For few years, he doesn't practice, then his license will be invalid. Will be invalid, and he must take examination again. The same as the lawyer. So something that like this may, like being said here, have a sound mind. People like geniuses, but at the same time, they are talking about the Sharia as if it's something that is actually so bad. You don't like it. Why? Why you don't like it? Because it punish the wrongdoers. It doesn't punish the law-abiding citizen. So why should you be, you don't like it? Why? Is it because you don't like Islam? We don't know what inside their heart. But it's something that this type of act actually come from some people who thought that they are genius, but they don't have relationship with Allah. You don't have relationship with the Creator. They said that Allah create everything, then let go like that. Doesn't give any guidance. Then this is wrong, because Allah said in the Quran in Surah Al-Baqarah, verse number 38, when Allah Ta'ala sent out Adam, Eve, and Iblis. Allah Ta'ala said, Qul nahbitu minha jami'a. We said, descend, all of you, Adam, Eve, and Iblis, descend all of you. From the paradise, all of you, jami'a. And Allah Ta'ala promised, فَإِمَّا يَأْتِيَنَّكُمْ مِنِّي هُدَى. And if came to you, from me, any guidance from me came to you, فَمَنْ تَبِعَ هُدَيْ. Whoever follow my guidance, فَلَا خَوْفٌ عَلَيْهِمْ وَلَا هُمْ يَحْزَنُونَ. There's no worry upon them. then they will not be sad in the last day. Worry about whatever happen in this in the future, and will not be sad for whatever passed from their life. Allah promised that. Descendant of Adams without his children being born, any of them yet. Allah promised about he will send guidance. But now you want to say that no, God doesn't send any guidance. Just like that, do whatever you want. Good is good, bad is bad, but according to your mind. But we did mention about this in last class of Don't Be Sad. Oh no, Don't Be Sad. I think the other class, Annette Kellerman. I show the bikini in Boston, the swimmer from Australia being fined in Boston because wearing that one piece swimsuit, because it's considered as vulgar and exposing at that time in United States of America. You can find it, Annette Kellerman. She is actually being fined by the Boston police for wearing that. But that one piece that she wore was 100 times decent than whatever being used today. Because the moral scale for human always change. Sometimes it says something, they think like that. Even your jilbab for our sisters, if you go into the early 80s, end of 70s, whoever wore long covering hijab, they will say that she is following a cult. It must be some cult she is following. I don't know why at that time. Even my sister, she wear a niqab. People call at that time in the early 80s as hantu kumkum. Hantu kumkum. They associate the niqab that being worn by the wives of the Prophet ﷺ. The wives of the Prophet being worn like that. They are wearing like that. Suddenly you want to say that is actually from ghost. But now it's changed. Our scale of modesty changed. We see that wearing hijab, a jilbab. Even I saw a jilbab is so long. From the head until the end of the leg. One of our sister wore it 2 weeks ago. I saw she wear so long. So anyway, the scale will be varies for what you read, what the media is actually giving out to you. And that is the thing where we can change the mind of people. So Allah sent to us a set of rules and the set of punishment that is actually to take care of all of us. To take care of everything that we have for your wealth. Allah Ta'ala said to you not to eat each other wealth or possession wrongly. Allah Ta'ala will punish you in the last day. Don't take the position or the wealth of the orphans. Allah Ta'ala will punish you. Don't steal. Then when you go unto that, you steal another person's belonging. If 3 condition is there, first, the thing that being stole must be more than 3 dirham or quarter of dinar. 1 dinar is 4.2 gram of gold. 4.25 gram of gold is equivalent for 1 dinar. So a quarter of dinar is more than 1 gram. Now today, a gram of gold is around 325 cents, if I'm not mistaken, a few days ago. 300 or more than 200. So the thing that you steal to make your hand to be cut off must be, first, the equivalent must be more than 1 gram of gold. Less than that, it not be cut. You can be prison, you can be punished, be exiled, everything cannot be cut. Secondly, you must steal. Means steal, you must open. If the door is locked, you must break it. If the person put his belonging outside of his house on the doorstep, then you steal. Even though the equivalent of the value, reach the threshold for cutting the hand. But the thing is not being steal, means being taken just like that, without opening the door, without breaking the safe. Then you can punish that person, but cannot cut his hand. Thirdly, the person must not steal, is not stealing because of hunger. If they steal because of hunger, then also, even though this and this already there, the thing that being stole is actually more than one gram of gold. The thing is being stolen, he break the safe. But the third one, he steal because of hunger, then he will not be cut off his hand. Can be punished by imprisonment, can be punished with other things, cannot be cut. To cut the hand itself, you have to have the three conditions. Means that if a person steal even after everything, he still is trying to steal, like people robbing the bank. Robbing the bank, we have another set of rules that is more harsh than the cutting of hand. So sometimes things like this, we are talking about the crime. It's not about the person, it's about the crime. And also, the other thing that is actually in civil and Sharia, in Islam, in Sharia, things immorality, actually the crime is related to immorality, like fornication. That is not inside the civil law. But at the same time, like the sodomy and everything is there. The sodomy law, inside the civil law, is there. Even more and harsher than whatever being put as the enactment of Sharia law. Is there from before. Because things like that, like the LGBT and everything. So people before us, they thought about it. If people start to not marrying men and women, men marrying men, woman marrying woman, who will reproduction of the human will become hard. By the same time, your country need a workforce. The workforce must be from inside. But if nobody is, marry each other, man and woman, marrying man with man, woman and woman, how can reproduction happen? What will happen to your country? Then the second part will happen. That is actually the import. You will import workforce from outside, and the cycle will come to you. Say that, wow, why people are from outsiders inside my country? You start to, like we're happening in USA. When the workforce is inside the country is not enough, from the Latin America came people to the United States to work. And the people doesn't like it. But you, in your country, you cannot stop about, LGBT and everything. That is actually immoral and affecting the country. Some people say nothing, it's just a sin by himself. You think about that now, but after 30 years, we'll say that if only we stop that thing. If only we stop that thing. Because that will really affect the country. The country itself will be affected by that. So in Islam, everything that been punished is not about the person, it's about the crime. The effect on the society, on the country, is so big. It's the same as fornication. If anybody can sleep with anyone, the same will happen. So nobody want to get married. And when people doesn't get married, who want to have the burden of child care? Child care, who want to take care of the child? So the thing will actually will make the destruction for the country. If you look into it, all the past civilization, the Greek and the Persia that crumble, most of it is starting from the problem of morality. When they start to doesn't think about morality anymore, then destruction will happen to their country. The same will happen to us if we don't punish about the morality. Some people say it's okay, it's right. You cannot say something like that. Because you know that you are part of the society. You are part of the country. You are the unit of your country. You cannot be like that. Because the destruction of your country will happen with you if you have that type of thinking. Okay? He said here, these are two examples that come to mind. Abul Ula Al-Mar'i said about the Sharia. He said contradiction concerning which we can do nothing but stay quiet. You know, something that actually about the Sharia. First thing Allah told you to do. I remember our Sheikh when he said about this. He been called our Sheikh Hussein Yi, Hafidahullah. He told us the story about when he was called to discuss a dialogue about this topic. It was held in University Tengku Abdul Rahman or College Tengku Abdul Rahman in Setapak. He said that thing. He said he was there. Lawyers from non-Muslim and Muslim is there. So Sheikh actually want to say for the first thing. He given the first as a first speaker. So he tried to make people understand what is hudud, what is the Sharia law. He said, no country doesn't implement Sharia law. Doesn't implement hudud. Every country is doing the hudud. The people start to, no. United States doesn't do it. Canada doesn't do it. So our Sheikh said, starting from the first topic, you don't understand what is hudud. Hudud or restriction is actually as the linguistic terms, meaning hudud is from had. Had. You know, when you drive your car on the highway, even mentioned there, had, laju. The speed limitation. Speed limit. Had, laju. So you are implementing hudud for your speeding. Where you park your car, you know that the color of the line on the side of the road. If it's white, if you have to, you want to park there, permissible, you can do that. If yellow, cannot at all. Do you know that? If white, you can go just, I have to go some place for a while. You can park there a little while, or you actually cut off there are meanings for the lines. You don't just park there. Yellow, you said, why I'm being fined? People there is not being fined because you are parked to the yellow line. So this is hudud, the place where we sign no parking. Fine will be implement the yellow box inside in the middle of the crossroad. Everything is actually hudud. So he said that the first thing you don't understand is hudud or the Sharia law is about limitation. Don't go above the boundaries, then there is punishment. So none of the country in this world doesn't have hudud. Every country is doing hudud. Only that the difference is what we are doing is the law of Allah. If you don't like it, you don't have problem with us, you have problem with Allah. You don't like the law, it's not upon us because we don't create the law. About the cutting of the hand, the lashes, 100. It's not from us. It's from Allah. You don't like it, it's about you and Allah. It's not about us. We are the people who implement whatever Allah told us to do. Even actually, some of the you say that Torah law, the law of Torah is equivalent with Islam. But people start to let things out, they don't want to do it, and they start to blame Islam, saying that Islam is implementing. Even the hijab, the covering of the hair for women is inside the Torah, inside the Old Testament. It being said there. Even the mother of Jesus is actually wearing veil. And they don't ever portray Mary mother of Jesus, peace be upon them, open her head? None. Because she always wearing a veil. So it's actually inside the law is there from them. Only that they don't like us to say about it. For them, it is something that you must leave it out. No connection with God onto your life. That is something that we cannot accept. Okay? He said here, second is the saying of Ibn Sina, the element that influences nature is the active intellect. The element that influences nature is the active intellect. Now, the active intellect is something that will make something good into the nature. But Allah Ta'ala makes some people that have the intellect to everything but doesn't have connection with God. From that, you found the atomic bomb, the radioactive, anything that actually is for destruction. Those people who make that things are intellect, but they don't have the connection with Allah. They create just for the sake of creation, to create, to make an innovation, but none related to halal or haram. Because you as a human, as a creature of Allah, you must think about that. Okay. I thus, say Al-Qarni, I thus came to know that the degree that one has faith in his heart will one be happy. And I thus came to know that the degree that one has faith in his heart will one be happy. Meaning, as long as the heart have faith, he can be happy. The degree, the more faith you have, the happy you are. The lesser you are. More recent saying, similar in the meaning to the two above, are the offspring of the evil words of the old age were spoken by Fir'aun. What being said by Fir'aun in the Quran, in Surah wait. Okay, 28 is in Surah Qasas. Surah Al-Qasas, verse number 38. He said, Ma alim lakum min ilahin ghairi. I don't know that you have gods other than me. He said to all his chiefs, his helpers, Ma alim lakum min ilahin ghairi. I don't know that you have gods other than me. But you know that what being said by Pharaoh, for actually Allah Ta'ala give him a trial. One of the trial, that a test being made by Allah for him, that he doesn't have sickness. He just sneezed for 3 times for his whole life. Because of that, he thought that I'm a God. I doesn't feel sick at all. Even the Prophet ﷺ remind us about this. When a person said, I don't have any headache, the Prophet said, whoever want to see the dwellers of the hell, look at this guy. Because something that when Allah Ta'ala make you feel sick, it's a nature for you to have a sickness. That Allah Ta'ala gave to all the companion of the prophets, have sickness. Sometimes they feel sick. Sometimes they are healthy. But you said, I'm healthy, never ever feel sick. That is the first sign. You have to be careful. Because sometimes Allah Ta'ala open up for you. It's not just a blessing, it's a test. And Fir'aun, being tested with that. And he failed. He thought that I am the highest God. I don't think you have any God other than me. And he said, I am the highest God. In Surah number 79, that is in Surah An-Nazi'at, verse number 24. He said, Ana Rabbukumul A'la. I am your highest God. But the thing is, like being said, about those people doesn't in their heart doesn't have happiness. Pharaoh, with all the power he has, he's not happy. always worry because of one dream that he dreamt about a child. Actually, he saw in his dream all the houses in Egypt was on fire, except the houses of the Jews. I don't know what the sign, maybe something being hanged there. We in Islam today, we want to know the person is Muslim or not. Is there Bismillah or Assalamu alaikum on his door? Ah, Muslim. But Chinese, we say the lantern. That's Chinese. So the Hindus, they have things like the mango leaf. They will hang. I don't know what the sign, but the Pharaoh in his time, he dreamt that all the houses in Egypt was on fire, except the house of Jew. So when he told his fortune teller, his shaman, about his dream, then the shaman said, a child from the Jews will be born that will make a destruction for your kingdom. So starting from that point, he was worried about a child is not being born yet. Worry about this child, when will it emerge. He commanded for all the children, all the child being born in the Jews community will be killed. No, that is the thing. You don't always worry. People who have worry, it's not happy. You're not happy. If you have faith that Allah Ta'ala will take away from you your power, you know that Allah Ta'ala give you, Allah Ta'ala will take it from you. Then you will be smiling. You said, it's not mine. Allah Ta'ala take it away from me because it's not mine anymore. We have the faith. But if you don't have the faith, you start to worry. You go to the extent like Pharaoh did, kill all the children. No, how can you kill the children that did anything yet? Didn't do anything yet, but you killing them just like that. Because why? Afraid, like being done by the Jews today about the Palestinian. Because they thought about it. Because Sheikh Ahmad Yassin, the one who actually on the wheelchair, only moving his head. When people ask him, when will the Palestinian have the opportunity to victory? He said, in 30 years. Some people say, why he said that in the 80s, in 30 years? But after what happened today, then people understand. After 30 years, all the children at that time already become adult. And they are the people who will carry the flag. For the generation, the 30 years after that, these are the things that people are saying. It's not about the shaman, but they know. But Allah Ta'ala doesn't give us. We Muslim, some of our friends have the difficulties to understand why God is not helping them. Why God doesn't stop the killing. You don't know what Allah Ta'ala want to make for them. And what Allah Ta'ala have already prepared for the tyrannies. What Allah Ta'ala prepared for them. You have the feeling that Allah Ta'ala will reward you for all the disaster that you are having. So the feeling is actually making you always having hope and to be happy. But if you don't have any connection with your God, like Pharaoh, he think that he is the God. What inside his head? Inside his head, always the attempt to make sure that nothing will go into his kingdom. Nothing will happen. So that is why he made the effort to kill all the children of Israelites every year. And then suddenly the people there said to the Pharaoh, but if you kill everybody, no helpers for us. So he made 1 year killing, 1 year not killing. So Harun or Aaron born in the year of not killing. Moses in the year of killing. That's why the mother of Moses actually threw Moses into the river until the river took Moses into the palace. And Moses was being brought inside the palace. Pharaoh doesn't like it, but the boy that will make his kingdom crumble is from his palace. inside his palace. So you cannot, while you're looking at that, you know that whatever being destined by Allah Ta'ala already predestined about it, you cannot run away from it. For you, you have to understand this world is for the test. Then Allah Ta'ala will make you the better reward in the last day. If you have something in hope for goodness, Allah Ta'ala will give you the goodness according to what He want, not you want. So anything lost, everything go from you, you don't have the worry because you know that Allah will reward you. You know, when I was in Turkey a few days ago, I left my watch and my ring in the toilet inside on the mountain, Uludag. After coming down from that mountain, you drove there almost 3 hours. So I mentioned to our tour guide, I left my ring and my watch on the mountain. He said, I found it. I give it to the toilets keeper, the toilet security. So he called his friend. So his friend took the watch, this one and ring, came down from the mountain. 2 days after that, I get it back. If it's not yours, it'll go away. If it's yours, it'll come back. Don't worry. Something you have to have that feeling. So you will be always happy. Even in sickness, you're happy. You hoping Allah Ta'ala will, wash away your sin with the sickness. Allah Ta'ala will reward you, will lift out your rank in His sight. So you don't have the worry because the faith is something that will make you happy. But the lesser the faith, the more you worry, the more you will be sad. Okay? We stop there, inshallah. Next class. Okay, any question? No question, alhamdulillah. Stop here. May Allah Ta'ala make beneficial for whatever we discussed just now. Wallahu a'lam. Wa sallallahu ala Muhammadin wa sallam alhamdulillah rabbil alamin. Subhanakallahumma bihamdika ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilaik. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.